Hello and welcome to Manga Comic TV's Versus segment. Today we're going to be asking the question, who comes out on top in a three-way gauntlet between Batfleck, Bruce Bale, and Batterson, aka Twilight Batman? Now, since the comic versions aren't withstanding, we're just going off their feats in the movies. Now, first off, we have Twilight Batman, aka Batterson. Now, one thing that's important to note when discussing Twilight Batman is that this Batman may actually be the strongest version of Batman for the simple fact that this motherfucker's part vampire. But if his vampire powers aren't withstanding, then we're just going to go off his debut as Twilight Batman. So one thing that's worth noting is that some people consider Twilight Batman to be the best version of Batman, but that's all a matter of preference. What we do know about Batterson, aka Twilight Batman, is that when we first see him, he doesn't appear to be the grizzled veteran that's been doing this for a long ass time. He appears to be relatively new, even though Gotham City knows who he is. Based off the movie, it would seem that although Batman has been working for some time, he still hasn't been in the game as long as Bruce Bale or Batfleck. So although Batterson hasn't been in the game for a long time, Batterson is still a natural when it comes to taking on groups of enemies and solving complex riddles. We see throughout a number of times where he's outnumbered, but he manages to deal with the situation with relative ease. But what I will say about Batterson is, although he is adept at hand-to-hand combat, he still gets his ass whooped on a few occasions where it feels like it probably wouldn't have happened to Bruce Bale or Batfleck. We also see throughout the movie where, with little to no effort, he manages to solve complex riddles from the Riddler without even really having to do much research. We see this cool ass escape sequence where he breaks out of the entire police station and police are fucking shooting at him, but he manages to escape and he proceeds to paraglide out of there, and then this motherfucker does the lamest shit ever as he gets the parachute for his glider caught on the bridge and this motherfucker ends up rolling through Gotham like a goddamn tumbleweed. That was kind of lame. But on top of all that, he does eventually end up taking down the Riddler, so that's one noteworthy criminal that he has under his belt. But it's almost unfair to even consider him for this, for the simple fact that he doesn't have as much screen time as the other two Batmans. But once again, a lot of people consider this to be the best version of Batman. Next up, we have Bruce Bale, aka the Dark Knight. Now when it comes to Batman from the big screen, Bruce Bale easily gets the most screen time out of all Batmans. And to be fair to Bruce Bale, his performance as Batman probably laid the blueprint for all future Batmans. And when we watch Batman Begins, we see Batman dealing with a city that's being taken over by Scarecrow and his fear toxin. Throughout the movie, we literally see Batman training as a ninja with the League of Shadows, and we see Batman training under Ra's al Ghul, eventually besting him in combat. Eventually, Batman would manage to take back Gotham from the Scarecrow, and at that point he pretty much packed Scarecrow up. Now when watching Batman Begins, you don't think it could get too much darker, but then you're introduced to the Dark Knight with the Joker. And what I will say is, the Joker's chaotic neutral attitude towards Batman leads to the death of countless innocent people, as throughout the entire movie, him and Batman are pretty much playing a dangerous game of cat and mouse. And throughout Batman's confrontation with the Joker, his ally in Harvey Dent would eventually become Two-Face, leading to another villain that Bruce Bale would have to deal with, but he eventually does manage to get through them. In The Dark Knight Rises, you see Bruce Bale is basically retired as he's kind of given up the Batman shtick, but he's forced to come out of retirement as Bane has come to Gotham, and Bane's a real bad guy. So throughout the movie, we see the Dark Knight coming out of retirement, and he's just as much of a beast as if he never left. Now, eventually he does get bested by Bane, and he ends up being imprisoned in this big ass pit-like structure, but he eventually manages to climb his way out after several failed attempts, and at that point he does return to Gotham with a vengeance as war is basically breaking out. The Dark Knight does manage to liberate the city, and he does manage to take down Bane. Now, Bruce Bale does not get enough credit because this dude basically laid the blueprints for all future Batmans to be successful. Then on top of that, Bruce Bale's Batman boasts some of the best one-liners in the entire fucking Batman genre.
I'm Batman. Nice coat. If you're working alone, wear a mask. I swear to God. Swear to me! Paul wouldn't kill me. I'm counting on it. Oh,
where he is, he found us.
he must have friends. Where are you? Here.
Bruce Bale definitely deserves your respect. Last but most certainly not least, we have Batfleck. And one thing that's worth noting when discussing Ben Affleck's Batman is Batfleck is completely unhinged. Now, when we first see Ben Affleck's Batman, we see Batfleck in Batman v Superman. And listen, I know it's a plot point of the comics, but just the fact that this man is willing to go up against Superman should let you know how unhinged this guy is. Batfleck is fucking crazy and I love it. Now, when we first see Superman, we see him duking it out with Zod, and these motherfuckers are basically just doing 9/11, and Batfleck sees that, and Batfleck charges into the fray. And it's like, bro, you're not even in your costume. What the fuck are you gonna do right now? But anyway, throughout the show, we see Batfleck take down plenty of criminals. And one thing about Batfleck is he appears to be a much older, much more seasoned version of Batman. And one thing that I really like about this version of Batman is Batfleck is absolutely ruthless. And I know that a lot of people don't like it because they don't like how ruthless he is in contrast to the comics. But Batfleck is fucking crazy and I love it. There are several sequences throughout the movie where he pretty much just straight murders somebody and it's not even close. And not just that, at one point he's having a nightmare where he's in the desert and this dude is just taking out people left and right with guns. And even when they finally subdue this motherfucker, he still manages to take down one more guy and snap his neck. Like, Batfleck is absolutely unhinged. Furthermore, Batfleck decides he wants to take out Superman, so a whole crazy ass back and forth ensues over that. And the craziest part of the movie is he pretty much does take down Superman and almost literally ends up killing him. Side note, I love how when he's just straight up killing a bunch of the villains with the Batmobile is shown to be pretty much indestructible against almost anything except Superman, which is pretty much fucking hilarious. Then on top of all that, Batfleck is part of the Justice League, and one thing that's worth noting is there's several occasions throughout the movie where he duked it out with these alien Firefly looking motherfuckers, and the fact that Batfleck has killed aliens is a feat that the other two Batmans just don't have under their belt. Then on top of all that, eventually Batfleck would get slapped by Superman without even wearing the Superman buster, and he just pretty much got up and dusted that shit off even though Superman slapped him into a fucking car. Anyway, Ben Affleck's Batman is arguably one of the best versions of Batman to never receive his own film, and that's one of the big things that's working against Batfleck. Now, the question we're here to answer today is who wins in a three-way gauntlet between Batfleck, Bruce Bale, and Twilight Batman, aka Batterson? Well, we're gonna start by telling you who's most likely not gonna win, and the Batman that's most likely not gonna win is Twilight Batman, for the simple fact that Twilight Batman hasn't been around as long as the other two Batmans, and thus he's just starting his tenure. And listen, Twilight Batman might still eventually become the strongest Batman in the live action universe, but at this stage in his career, as it currently stands, he's just completely outskilled in every way possible by Batfleck and Bruce Bale. So Twilight Batman is right out. So this really ends up coming down to a 1v1 between Bruce Bale and Batfleck. And listen, I know there's going to be some people out there that's pissed off about this, but when it comes down to a fight between Bruce Bale and Batfleck, most likely Batfleck is coming out on top. Now, why is that? Well, Batfleck is just way more cutthroat than Bruce Bale's Batman. Batfleck won't just immobilize you. This motherfucker will kill you. Then on top of that, Batfleck duked it out with aliens and he lived to tell the tale. Then furthermore, one of the most noteworthy aliens he duked it out with and almost fucking killed was Superman. And yes, you can say Bruce Bale did take down Bane, but Superman would fucking tear Bane's head off. So in a three-way gauntlet between Twilight Batman, Bruce Bale, and Batfleck, I'm going with Batfleck. Thank you guys for watching. Likes, comments, and subs are all greatly appreciated. Have a beautiful day, guys. Peace.